Hello everyone and welcome to Deadstick, Bush Flight Simulator. So this is a game currently in a open playtesting. Fortunately, by the time this video goes live, playtesting won't be available anymore. But the general idea is you are a bush cargo pilot, and so far I've been having a lot of fun with this. I've just gone through the basic tutorial. I'm now on to the tutorial Mark 2, where I'm testing whether I remember everything, and so I have to prove that I can fly a plane. So first things first, I have to start up the plane. Good thing to know, as you can probably tell, track IR does work. You just need to update track IR beforehand, but otherwise works out the box. So we need to do our primer. Forget to advance the throttle. So we do need to make sure that we know we've done basic things like turning on the master switch. Right, let's try this again. Throttle ahead 1/4 and turn the magneto. There we go, engine start. Right, and so now we taxi. Guessing the runway is over this way. Yeah, the game recognizes HOTAS controls quite happily. They could probably improve the binding a little bit, but for the most part it is all pretty straightforward to set up. Right, so here we go. All I need to do is prove that I can take this thing off safely, fly to 300 feet, and then land it back down again. And it does work pretty nicely as a simulator. You do have torque effects and all sorts there. Shut the window to lower the sound a little bit. Right, now I just have to climb a little bit. Got all my instrumentation here. In terms of navigation, it is all manual navigation. You've got a map. The map doesn't tell you where you are, it just tells you where you started from. Everything else is visual navigation, using your compass, using your sight markers and so on. Here we are, crossing 3,000 feet, so can level out. Need to land back at this runway. I'll land at the T1 end since I need to come to a stop and there's only stuff that far under there. I'll say one thing I'm noticing is the sound is quite nice in this game, with the kind of creaking of the planes. You've got the engine idle a lot of the time. You can hear it creaking and groaning and generally being upset about having to do things, which is very cute. The main thing I have to get used to in this game is exactly how slow these bush planes land, because they really, really do not want to stall. So you can come down at a ridiculously short speed. I'm absolutely not going to aim for the touchdown markers. Learn the flaps. Don't have to worry about gear because it's always down, which is good. Oh. And I broke the plane. Stalled a little bit at the end there. Here's attempt number 2 here with a more sensible approach. Yeah, as you may be able to see, this thing really doesn't want to land. It is still quite happily flying here. There we go, less than 50 feet per minute. On the landing, nice and gentle. Alright, done. Now I just need to taxi. I failed due to a collision. What on earth does it think I hit? Failed the lesson due to a collision. I'm pretty sure I'm in the middle of absolute nothing. Maybe I'm taxing too fast and it's detecting that as a collision. If that time it let me taxi out of here without issue, so let's hope everything's fine. Right, back down again. Let's see if I can get this where it needs to go without counting as a collision. I'm exactly in the center line. This is the most terrifying taxi that I've ever done. I'd say in front of these hangars seems safe. And stopped. Okay. Magneto's off. There we go, so I've officially got my little test there. A bunch of others that are going to be available in the actual game, but for now this is just a demo playtest. Alright, so here we go, start of the first real day. So let's get out our phone, see who's been messaging us. So, first assignment, I'm going to fly up to an airstrip called Boyce. Sounds like fun. Hard work starts now. I hope you're ready, newbie. Send me the details. Okay, so we have to take off here. Land in Boyce at $1,000 dues. No one else will touch this stuff. That sounds worrying. Alright, so I need to collect the cargo from there, so nothing to pick up here. I refueled the plane the previous day. You can see some of my planey bits are a little bit damaged, but nothing's too bad. So let's hope that's all okay. It's very cute. You can open up the engine, have a proper look at all of the bits and pieces, checking everything's okay. Now though, let's close that. Master switch on. Crack the throttle, and Magneto, go! Right. Now, as I said, we have to manually navigate. So we are just flying from here to Boyce, so it's in between two hills. That should be easy enough to find. That looks like the wind is coming from the north. Not got much runway that way, so I'm going to take off this way. Now I've got the wind to my back, but I've got a nice long runway, so I don't think that's going to be a big problem. There we go. Wheels up. Oh, we just need to fly this way for a bit. I'm guessing that is the mountain on the map. So it's just to the left of that. Nice and easy to find, hopefully. Oh no, it's not that one. That's the tall peak. Okay, so that is the tall peak there. That's the hill I'm looking at. This is in the valley over there. Right, got it. And everything looking very pretty in the morning. Get a picture of the settlement up ahead and the location will be added to your map. How I do that? Camera. Here, I've got a little camera. Oh, there. So if I... I'm not sure if that is the settlement, but... Camera's fun. Don't think that was the settlement at Mern, because it's not added anything to my map, but I'll keep an eye out for anything else. Okay, so here I believe that yeah, that's got to be where I'm landing. Okay, no pappy lights on this one. Does have a runway though, so... Right, flaps down. I should be taking off is landing into the wind here, so that should be good. Oh, a little bit of a hard touchdown, but we're down. I got a good landing though, so harder than some of mine, but still got some things. Right. My fuel's actually half empty, but never mind. Should be fine. Right, and then the briefing hut and the cargo is this, right? Alright. Oh, time to shut down. Can I just shut it down with the master switch? Nope. Right. Do need the magnetos off. There we go. Excellent. No notable issues found. Is good to know. My undercarriage is a bit damaged, so I'm going to repair this. Assume this needs to be in the hangar to repair it, so we tow the aircraft. And because it's a nice, lovely, light aircraft, we can just drag it back ourselves. There we go. They're very expensive to repair everything, so yeah, let's repair my undercarriage and my wheels. Oh, that took some time to do, but okay. Now I go collect the cargo. Is this the cargo? They want milk and whatever that is. Right, yo. So I got 2 cargo doors. That looks like that's going to fit nicely in there. The other one might be a bit more awkward because it's bloody massive. There's just a water barrel. Okay, it just kind of clips in. Right, yeah, so I can put that there. I'm just going to need to fly back to Morton. So, remove the wheel trucks. But otherwise, with our lovely cargo crammed into the back, we can get started again. Got a little bit of wind, but I'm hoping that's not going to be too bad here. I'm gonna go for this way of taking off. Just realised my flaps were still down. Don't really need those for takeoff. There we go, but we're in the air. We're not hitting those trees. Now just have to fly our way back to Morton. And yeah, the game looks nice. It's not, you know, absolutely 100% spectacular. I see it seems to be a little bit of a weird artifacting error. I don't know if this is actually going to come up in the recording. But just kind of, there's a little bit of odd pixel fluttering with things like the leaves through the trees. Also noticed that when it was early in the morning, had that coming in. But looking at it on the whole, it's a nice scenery that they've got here. Nice and pretty to look at, nice and atmospheric. The cockpit looks decent. I feel that the cockpit could use a little bit more wear and tear, considering how shaky everything is, how warm the seat is. The front panel is looking a little bit clean, but that's just me trying to look for something. That really, this is very nice, very pretty. And it's a nice little map that they've got here. It's got a good variety of things. I like the autumn setting. Got nice snow on the mountains. Very nice. So it's prompting me again to get a picture of the settlement. I think I needed to zoom in. There we go. I just wasn't zoomed in enough before. So there we go. A new question mark settlement. The way I'm looking for Morton here should just be a little bit to the south here. There it is. I can see it now. It is nice not actually having your position marked here, so you're navigating properly by the map. There are radio displays and things that's not covered how to get the direction finding things working just yet. Don't know if that's implemented yet or not. But I know some of the airfields definitely do have beacons on. You can see them on the runway. So that could help, especially if you're going longer distances. I do like flying visually, finding landmarks and so on. Now, I am going to do a loop here and come in on the other runway, mostly because of this giant cliff here seems less than ideal to land on. Here we go, making our turn. Not an ideal lineup, but I'll count this as some practice. So at some point I'm going to need to get good at landing in very odd circumstances in this, so may as well practice when it's pretty low stakes. Okay, maybe a little heavy there. Wheels. Landing gear isn't quite as long as I thought it was. Alright, and I got to deliver it somewhere around there. It's my 2 o'clock. Yeah, it was just an okay landing. It wasn't a good landing. This thing doesn't have a lot of fuel on it. That's basically 2/3 fuel done on that trip, so I am going to have to refuel. Yeah, look at the back here. The water's unbroken, so that's something. I'll have to chuck the glass milk bottles. Alright, so that's where I'm delivering to. I'm actually just going to taxi over here to where the refueling is. Alright, let's park this here. So, magneto off. Hop out. Okay, a little bit of wear on the wheels after that landing, but otherwise, mostly looking good. And check everything just by looking at it, which is quite nice. Let's go get the fuel. So just pick up the nozzle. Our fuel tanks are here and here. And as we do, it does go and shift the center of gravity there. Assuming anywhere in the orange area is good. Yeah, so here I'm currently as heavily loaded as I can be. Well, that's fine. I've got a lot in there. Now, a moment of truth. Yep. The glass is undamaged. Alright. Then gently pop those down. Sprint back over. Pop that down, and there we go. Alright, so I got some bonus points for taking care on Boyce, not on Morton, I think, so I didn't land particularly well. I wasn't late, so I just had to get that the same day. Yep, no damage to the cargo. There we go, got some money. So there we go. Lovely little interface here. I really like this, you know, late 90s, 2000s style phone. Brings back some horrible memories. Made it great. Check the report. Everything looks good. I'm almost impressed. Okay, I think it's slightly bugging out here, or is this giving me a different mission? Alright, next assignment just came through. Yeah, what am I taking this time? Machine parts, who cares? They're not paying to ask questions. Clients, the only reason we even care about this backwater, don't screw it up. Okay, so we're taking off and going back to Jones, which is where we were going, where this started with the tutorial. Yeah, some cardboard boxes. Go. Okay, so I just need to grab the cargo from Morton. Thought I was at Morton. Is this not Morton? Yep, this is Morton. Where's the cargo? Ooh, I need to pay my landing fees. It's expensive. I see the cargo is over there somewhere. Right, Alright, so let's get things started. Taxi over to the other side. Got full fuel now, which is always nice. Crack the throttle and magneto go. Weather's not looking as nice. Alright, there we go, there's our cargo. Now, I could be safe and turn the engine off. I can also just step outside and avoid the whirly bit. So here, got some boxes, so let's just open up the plane. Boxes go in the boxes. Okay, it won't fit in there. Mystery boxes for the medical centre. Am I going to have to put these in the rear seat then? Can I not put these in that side? Is there another cargo door I can hide them in? Or do I have to do 2 trips here? Ooh, remove rear seat. Maybe that's what I need to do. There we go. Rear seat has been taken out. There we go. Well, that's nice and actually pretty intuitive. So I got a rear seat, I'm assuming, for passengers. There we go. Close up the doors. Cars are reasonably okay. Recenter the view and let's go. Yeah, the weather's really not looking great at this point. But hey ho, let's see if we can just make this trip. Now the wind's really coming from this way. The sensible thing to do would be to back taxi, I guess, but then you'd be taking off towards the cliff face. I'm gonna err on the side of not taking off towards the cliff face, so I'll deal with the non-ideal. Wind. Do still have a nice big runway, so this shouldn't be an issue at all. Yeah, it's coming off nicely, even with flaps. Up. There we go. I keep thinking, oh no, now I need to raise my gear. No, this thing definitely does not have raisable gears. And there is a third-person view available. You can just click a button to get it. And you can use the mouse wheel to rotate in first person. Unfortunately, there's not a pilot model in first person, which is a bit jarring. Hopefully that will come, but it's not exactly the end of the world. I'm very happy playing in first person anyway. Now, either way, over there is where I need to go, just a little bit south. Yeah, so it should be immediately on the other side of this ridge here. So here we are at Jones, where we kicked off the whole adventure. The tutorial we started just down there. Nice and simple startup. Now I am going to come around and land this to the north, because that is where the wind is coming from. Actually, a bit of a crosswind on this one. Actually, quite a bad crosswind on this one. Yeah, definitely could have done this better as a landing. That was a rough touchdown with a bounce. Okay. definitely could have done better there. That counted as an okay landing, so hey ho. Cargo's not damaged. Oh, there we go. There we go, another happy landing. Grab the wonderfully undamaged boxes and pop them down. And the last one, go bonk. There we go. Got bonus care points for some reason, but all the rest is all done. Nice little payment. Got the report coming in through now. Perfect, no complaints. Handle the rest of the paperwork from here. Got another assignment for you. Our client lost an important shipment somewhere along the south coast. How will I recognize it? So I'm going to fly down there, find it before anyone else does. It's a shipping container. It's not going to blend in. Once you spot it, take a photo and fax it over. Okay, well that's a nice, interesting mission. So just fly and find the damn thing. Right, photography time. Probably should have checked if my wheels are actually okay, but I don't think this place has a maintenance hangar anyway, so don't think it's really going to matter. Let's bring up my flaps for now. Probably should have done that while taxiing around. Alright, so a little bit of a bumpy runway here. Whoops. Okay, I think I was technically off the runway there. I think I technically took off from the grass. Either way, they want us to head along the coast a wee bit. Right now I'm heading due south. I really want to be heading west. Although it looks like there's a flare over there, which is something. See if I can get the thing trimmed out. Yeah, definitely a flare that they're putting up there, so... Well, if they're launching flares, it should be pretty easy to find. I'm pretty sure that's the container there. Flare going up and down outside it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it, but I don't think this counts as close enough. Right, there we go, nice and close. Photo! Right. Fax the photo at any briefing hut. In that case, all I'm going to do is go northwest and go fly to Morton, since there's more facilities there. Oh, that's cool. There's a kneeboard with the pilot with the flight plan. That's really cool. Yeah, including distance, time. That's cool. And here we're coming up to our landing at Morton here. Should be a lot easier to come in. Getting quite gusty, but it's alright. There's no crosswind though, which is nice. You definitely feel the wind and something this light. You can see it's wiggling all over the place. I'm not touching the rudder, that's just the wind. $130, I'll take that. Not my best landing, but not my worst. Right, flaps can go up so I don't accidentally take off. I guess that's the other thing to consider. I got a great landing that counted as. I'll take that. But yeah, the different airports have different landing fees, so going to the bigger airport may have been a mistake, because that's gonna cost me money. So the plane does not want to be taxiing right now. It wants to take off in this headwind. Alright, fuel's down to half. Okay, do not take your eyes off the road while you're taxiing. Right, there we go. Stopped. Turn the things off, and then what I am definitely going to do is pop in the wheel chocks, because I don't want my plane to go missing while I'm away. Yeah, okay. Bit of damage on the undercarriage. Otherwise it's all good. You can also incidentally grab your surfaces and move them to check. It's very cute. Let's see, my rudder's taken some damage somewhere along the line. By the way, pop into the briefing hut. And then we need to fax our photo. Ta-da, got some bonus pointy points for skill. Lovely, lovely photo. Small, perfectly in frame. Okay, so I should have been a little bit closer for it to count as better. I think it's raining outside and it's just glitched and thinks it's raining inside. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so some of the rain effects are being blocked by the shelter, but not all of them. That's interesting. Really is coming down though. Ooh, thunderstorm as well. Dispatch a cleanup crew to that location. Just to be clear, you saw nothing. Okay. This one's flagged critical priority, so drop whatever you're doing and pay attention. I'll do my best. Just received a shipment at Morton. The client wants it delivered immediately to 3 corners. Damn well better. Look, we're trusting you on this one. Get it right and you will be rewarded. Okay, so 3 corners is that little thing that I spotted before. Okay. Yeah, incidentally, you can plot out your own routes if you want to, so... Yeah, so I can just click and drag, so say I didn't want to take off there. I'm going to be taking off in this direction. And it plots the high and low altitude on each thing, so yeah, fair enough. I'm just going to reset that. I'm quite happy with that direct one. Does it actually tell me how much this is paying? Yeah, £1,000. There's a fat paycheck, 3 corners, happy landings. Okay, and we've got absolute garbage weather. Alright, how are we doing with fuel? Yeah, we've got 3/4 fuel, that should be plenty. There we go. I can just turn on my lights. Oh, yeah, this thing desperately wants to turn into the wind. Oh, it really wants to turn into the wind. Taxiing is tricky here, let alone flying. My poor little plane's being blown all around the place. Desperately trying not to nose over. Right, managed to get here. Again, I'm going to put the wheel chocks in so it doesn't blow away while I'm loading it up. Going to put the load in where the seat went, because that's balancing it a little bit better, I guess. No, doesn't want to go in that. Even from the front? Yep, there we go. Okay. Oh. It's really hard to get started when the wheel chocks are in. Alright, so this is extremely high wind, straight down the runway. I'm going to do the sensible thing this time, if I can, and back taxi down the runway a bit. This thing desperately wants to turn nose into the wind though. That's fine. Okay, now I'm going nicely with the wind. Plane's not trying to fight me anymore. Honestly, shouldn't need that much distance, but there are cliffs at the other end, so I don't really want to risk it. Yeah, we're just about heading due north. After takeoff, that should be nice and easy. Right, let's turn around. This thing should basically just take off. Yeah. Up at about 50 miles per hour. I'm getting plenty of lift here. Oh, I wonder what that is over there. Okay, something's very unhappy there. Yeah, I'm not going to get my camera out. I've decided I'm not going to get my camera out to take photos of the cool thing over there. I got hit by lightning! 7 weeks later. Yay! I had insurance. I'm pretty sure that was a meant to lose run. Pity, I was hoping it would let me at least try the landing. You screwed up, newbie, big time. Planes are write-off, shipments damaged, that client cancelled all of their contracts. You're done here. Terminated effective immediately. WWLF is cutting their losses and pulling out of Bleak Rock. Thanks for nothing. Yay! Got fired. Bees from Bees Repair, how are you feeling? What happened? Yeah. Biggest storm we've seen in a decade. I can't believe you even tried to fly in those conditions. Anyway, I figured you'd need a plane, so I patched up an old beta we had out back. She's no spring chicken, but hopefully it'll get you back on your feet. Head over to the hangar and see. New plane. Okay, so I can paint the plane. Is that here? Yep. Respray. Oh yeah, definitely clip two cells black and yellow there. Nice channel appropriate. Bees repairs. Yep, that's fine. Nice pretty plane. Rename the plane. This is going to be the Clip Hussar. Clip Hussars isn't a name I would have gone for. Deep personal meaning. So folks all across Bleak Rock still need help after the storm. There's a lot of damage. Entire communities cut off. Yeah, I'll lend a hand. put you in touch with Mayor Taylor. Bunch your old books for his collection. Okay, so take off at Boyce, go to Morton. Payment 8 grand. That's much better than any of the missions I've been doing so far. Right, Greg can be prickly. Oh, the plane looks fine. Okay, cargo's just here. Let's go grab it. 3 happy boxes of dusty books. And a little box of old flying manuals. Excellent. Okay, so I can put them up there if I want to. I'll put them down there. Actually, can I do this more sensibly? Yeah. Or even, a little package goes in the little cargo. There we go. That looks sensible. Nothing's going to fall and hit me in the back of the head. Alright, so time to take off our brand new plane. Now, without being struck by lightning. Should have checked the fuel before taking off. Fuel's fine. Oh, the little tower doesn't seem to be something I can photograph, at least not at this range. And then just have to turn in to Morton. And then we try and come in for a nice gentle landing. Go 180. Alright, and then we're off over to the right here is where we need to come in. Alright, then just turn around here. Flew IFR without rating. Did I? Oh, the weather conditions maybe? Or was that because I was doing the tutorial thing that's shouting at me? Because, yeah, the tutorial one was definitely instrument flying rules, and I'm not rated for that, so yeah, I understand why they shouted at me for that. Books, books, books. And more books. There we go. More reliability and care. Nice big payout. Double new message received. I made it, and everything's in good shape. So B's happy to fix the plane when I inevitably break it. You don't get too many mainlanders here, they're just rabble-rousers, troublemakers. But B tells me you're looking for work, why should I care? Because folks should help each other. 'Cause I'm a damn good pilot, yeah. You wrecked your last plane. Rotation around here, you put in the work, prove yourself. Go to the job board, if you earn a 1-star reputation, I'll be in touch. Cool. So from here, I think the game opens up. So we can just go in here and we have job boards. So got 1 to deliver to Boyce for £1 grand, 1 to deliver to Jones for 500. I suppose, yeah, the one for 500 is a lot shorter, but for the sake of it. There we go. What are we delivering? We're delivering milk. Let's put them both in the back. Everyone likes random containers of milk. I'll top up the fuel on the way. Alright, I'm definitely obeying all safety procedures by refueling while the engine's still running. Fuel's at least relatively cheap. And we're all good to go. Have to get this delivered by 7 AM the next day, so yeah, that's pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. Up we go. We've been to Boyce before, we know exactly where it is, so this shouldn't be a problem. As long as I don't crash. Okay, took that a little bit aggressively. So we're coming into Boyce. Run, not really much of a crosswind here. Actually just landing into the wind. Bit of a rough runway. We've done that one before. Flaps them down. Alright, and we just want to arrest the descent rate. Uh, 182. And bring the flaps up. Okay, to work out where I'm taking the stuff. Over here by the look of it. Yeah, okay, it's this little cargo bit here. Alright, no bad things on my ramp check. And Boyce gets all the milk it can need. Ta-da! There is pointy points. Nice, decent paycheck. Have you considered working for international consignment services? Okay, so lots of places are... what up, Brad from Aries? You crushed it. But don't you work for WWLF? I'm freelance now. You'll be up for more work then, lol. I need ace pilots. Go hard, be the best. Brad, okay. Oh, and if I want to, I can always taxi into the hangar. Get the plane repaired. I can repair everything for $2,000. Yeah, rudder's a bit damaged, elevator a bit damaged. Ta-da! It's night time, so I can run over to the lovely hangar and go for a nap. Wait until dawn. Good couple hours sleep, that's absolutely fine and healthy. And just pop into a briefing hut and can see the jobs posted. So yeah, I think from there it opens up. You get job postings, you go around. Slowly get more and more. Remember to pay your landing fees. I think as the lovely, beautiful dawn rises, that's where I'm going to leave things off with this playtest demo. I've definitely enjoyed this game. One thing that I find that always gets me about non-combat air sims is I tend to run out of ideas of things to do. I know some people absolutely love just the flying around, going from one place to another and exploring. For me, I very often find myself getting tired quite quickly with it. But this, with this kind of progression element, is definitely something I could get into, especially if we get things to spend the money on, like proper upgrades, new planes. That all sounds really, really cool and interesting. Love the detail of this and really enjoying flying an ultralight aircraft. Even the lighter end of things that you get in DCS are sodding heavy compared to this little thing. So, yeah, getting blown about by the wind as much as it is actually a lot of fun. So yes, I am definitely going to be keeping an eye on this as things go forward. We'll almost certainly be picking this up as soon as it becomes available. I am quite sad that I cannot purchase it right now, but this is just the playtest. They're looking for feedback to adjust things. Hopefully it is not too long before this thing actually hits Steam sales. As always, until next time, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.